Hey, Crystal Maiden here, and here we're going into Death Egg Mark II Zone, which is kind of a weird name since technically we already had a second Death Egg in the form of Death Egg Mark II Zone from Sonic the Fighters. Well, I don't quite remember if it was called Mark II, but yeah, it was literally a second Death Egg, and you would make it get destroyed by defeating Eggman. So is this the same one from Sonic the Fighters? I guess so. And I still have Sonic looking golden because, again, I replaced the files for his folder. I knew I made a backup, but it still happened. I'm going to, well, you'll see. He's not always going to look golden and awful. But yeah, you basically have like these little levels before the boss fights of the zone, which isn't really a zone. Like, it's more just like you run ahead and you hit dash pads and springs, which doesn't really count as a level because there's really no platforming involved. Like, the only real gimmick of Death Egg Mark II Zone is that the camera is constantly spinning around and disorienting you. This is a really annoying boss fight because it's got Sonic Advance 2 physics, and you have to deal with Eggman, who's always in front of Metal Sonic. And this is just a really annoying boss in general. The biggest problem with it is Eggman himself. He has this force field around himself. Like you can't actually attack him. And you're trying to use basically this boss expects you to do two things at once. You're constantly flying to try to avoid the giant spirit bombs that Metal Sonic throws at you. But you also want to use the rolling combo to get up close to him really quickly. So it's expecting you to do two things at once that aren't really compatible with each other. Like, you have to fly all the way up to avoid that. And it takes forever to get to him. I guess you have to air dash over Eggman. You bounce off of his Eggmobile. Like, in general, it's just a really annoying fight. It's not, like, you might think that he's always invincible if he has the energy surrounding him. Like, he's invincible now because he has obvious pink energy surrounding him. I'm not really sure why Metal Sonic is associated with the color pink when that's a girly color. And you think Eggman's most powerful robot would be associated with something more manly. I don't know, it's kind of weird. But this is just a really annoying boss fight in general. Like, look at how terrible the air dash is. You barely go forwards at all when you use it, so what's the point? Compare that to the air dash to Sonic Advance 2, where it sent you pretty long distances in the boss fights. I mean, at least the boss fight arena doesn't constantly slope to screw up your jump. But like with the kind of physics that this boss fight has, you always feel like you're running through molasses. It takes forever to get to the boss. And like, yeah, you pretty much have to get lucky to get up to Metal Sonic in the first place. Like, you bounce off Eggman's Eggmobile with the right amount of momentum. If you hold left on the control pad, you're always going to be skidding to a stop, or if you're flying, then you're going to turn around and face left, but you're still going to keep moving forwards. I don't know why this has to be an auto-scrolling section. Like, I don't know why you can't just be chasing after him. Like, why is Eggman even here? This is supposed to be Metal Sonic's fight. I mean, I guess the whole point is that he's inconveniencing you. I mean, he certainly does make the boss harder. But what's going through Metal Sonic's head right now? I mean, this is supposed to be his fight with Sonic, trying to prove himself to him. And here he gets his annoying creator just in the way. And again, it takes so long to get to the boss fights for both acts of this level. Well, quote-unquote level. So it just, like, it's fun to go through, but it's kind of annoying, because you just want to get to the end, you just want to get to the boss fight already. there's basically, like, in general, the soundtrack of this game can be considered pretty repetitive. Like, a lot of the time, it doesn't even take 30 seconds for, it takes like 30 seconds for the song to just loop. And that's definitely the case here. But I do really like the song, like, it's pretty epic, and it's techno, which is good because it's a machinery level. This is a perfect example of how the camera switching can disorient you, because you're immediately expected to fly, and the timing for that is pretty precise, because you can't fly up very much with them without tiring out. So it's just annoying that they constantly rotate the camera around to make you dizzy, when immediately you're expected to go up, when up changes. A nitpick that I have with the signs is that like they constantly change, because like if it's showing the rolling combo, it should always show the rolling combo. It shouldn't show the animation for getting into the rolling combo, which is the same among all three tag actions. And the same goes for the flying action and the swimming action. Because if it doesn't always show that relevant action at the very end of it, if it just shows the animation for getting into it at first, then the instant I see the sign, I'm not going to know what they're telling me to do. This boss is pathetically easy, and it's all because of the rolling combo. Like, you can just take advantage of this rolling combo to just easily cheese this boss fight. And I think that's what you're expected to do, actually, because I'm pretty sure that you need this rolling combo to get through those walls. That must have been pretty painful for him. But yeah, this race feels like an apology for Sonic CD. We had the really annoying track that was constantly sloping and forcing you to stop and use the super peel out to get up the slopes. And the super peel out, you really notice this charge up time in that case. And it was also full of spikes that you had to jump over. This is a classic Sonic and Tails mod. This is what should have been in the game in the first place. Like, seriously, like, these mods look great here. They're straight out generations. They look pretty nice, especially Tails. He looks adorable. I don't know why they couldn't have just done that to begin with. They even have the classic life icons. Another long intro. You don't even really have to do much to get here. Like, you can literally just go into the rolling combo and just not even hold right. Like, you just go right for you. Literally all you have to do is jump once. There is actually a hidden shield, so you can actually fight this boss with a shield if you go right enough. And well, I don't really know how to get it, but the point is that there's an achievement for beating this boss without ever getting hit, like losing rings. And if you have that shield, it makes it a lot easier. And you need to get this achievement in order to unlock an Eggman avatar. I never really bothered, especially since this is on the PC. But I can imagine it would be pretty annoying finding that out, because, like, how are you supposed to know where the shield even is? Like, what's the point? Why do you explore a kind of level where all you have to do is hold right and just press A once? So basically, you have to dodge the electricity, and you just keep on jumping or fly to get up to him. And you have to attack the blue side, or you can just do what I did right there and use the rolling combo, and that'll hurt him. When Sonic and Tails are constantly spinning around each other after they attack Eggman, I always mash buttons, because I'm not really sure what I'm expected to do there. Like, it reminds me of the power-up item that you got that made you, like, spin around and attack a whole bunch of enemies. But it's not really like that at all. It's just a period of waiting. The final boss of this game is definitely a lot easier than the boss of Sonic 4 Episode 1. Like, it's a lot less unintuitive. It's a lot less frustrating. I still ended up dying to it a lot, though, especially since you need to use Tails to fly up here to the center. But it's easy to lose a ring and not be able to get it back sometimes. And of course Tails can get hit and drop you. And then that happens because he dropped you. And again, I don't understand the point of this animation. There's just so much waiting around when it comes to the boss fights. And I know that they're trying to make it look cool, but it's not really working because it's just waiting around. And the music for this does not really suit a final boss at all. Like, it's so cheery. You need to use the rolling combo to break this force field, which just brings up the question of why you couldn't use the rolling combo against Eggman in that Metal Sonic fight. Because, well, I'm remembering him having a force field like that. Like, why couldn't you just break that? Or maybe I'm remembering wrong. But the annoying thing is that going into the rolling combo takes you out of super form, and if you don't have 50 rings, then you're not going to be able to transform back into them to make sure that you won't get hit. So again, if you're trying to get that achievement, then that force field is going to be very annoying. But it's not really that big of a deal. It's good that they make use of the whole tag action thing in the final boss, because that was the gimmick of the entire game after all. Like, it helps make it feel more of a finale sort of thing. It would be underwhelming if you didn't get to use the tag action even once. Like there's also the flight to get to the center, but you don't necessarily need to use the flight all the time. Like, you can just go to the right enough, and then you could just jump off the wheels. Like, when the wheels above you are low enough to the ground, you could jump onto them. But the thing is that you'll get to a point where the electricity is everywhere, and it's pretty much impossible to avoid. And see, I was pausing there because I thought I could maybe skip it. I hoped I could. But yeah. The boss music does not really suit this. I mean, it's much better than the final boss music of Sonic 4 Episode 1. Especially since it was a Death Egg, like the Death Egg Robot Sonic 2 again. Only better. So you think that it would have more intimidating music than that. But yeah, you go into the heart of the Death Egg Mark II and you defeat a heart-shaped boss. And I had to edit this cutscene in, because if you play a cutscene with the classic Sonic and Tails mod, the cutscenes glitch out. And that's actually the reason why I didn't play the entire game as classic Sonic and Tails, even though I really wanted to, because then I would have to edit in every single cutscene. And I already did that for Generations. But yeah, I am going to be showing you the final cutscene glitching out, because I actually did record that. And it's actually kind of funny. Like, it's not terrible to look at, like with Unleashed Sonic glitching out the cutscenes in Generations, because that was just messed up. This is the most anticlimactic ending in all of Sonic, because it's literally just, like, Little Planet is still mechanized. Little Planet is still surrounded by the Death Egg. It doesn't really look like you got rid of the Death Egg at all. Like, you saw explosions, but it's not like it disappeared. And even getting all the Chaos Emeralds doesn't really change the ending. And this is the biggest example of how they were going to have an Episode 3. But because there was terrible reception to this game, they decided to cancel it. I just don't understand why there is terrible reception when this game is so much better than Episode 1. It's got this fresh new gimmick in the form of the Tails tag actions, where you have the rolling combo where you can roll really fast, and you have the flight, and you have swimming, which makes water areas actually fun. Like, the levels may have a whole bunch of dash pads in them, but that just makes it more fast. Like, I would have vastly preferred if the dash pads were like Advance 1's dash pads, or any Advance games for that matter, where it really felt satisfying hitting them. Because it really felt like you got a huge burst of speed from them. And helped that they were completely red, rather than like the lame color scheme that they are now. So the dash pads don't really feel like anything special. But that doesn't really matter when you've got the rolling combo where you can go genuinely fast. Like, they're just sort of there to me. I don't really see them as a huge problem that ruins the game. Same goes with I love the springs. They're a fast-paced way of just sending you upwards. And since the levels are going to make you go upwards a lot, it's good to have the springs there. And they also have like diagonal springs to make you fall down faster. I don't really see a problem. Like, obviously I would prefer a much more classic Sonic-like game. But what they did here is still good. Like, it just makes me sad that, like, yes, the game does have a lot of legitimate problems. The boss fights are atrocious. They're not nearly as bad as the ones in Sonic Rush, where they take eons to attack because you constantly have to wait for your opportunity to attack. They're not draining. It's more that the boss fights take so long, and you're constantly tense that you're going to die and have to do it all over again. And the fact that there's a gigantic intro before them doesn't help. So, like, the game does have legitimate problems. I agree with all of them, but it's still a really fun game to play. Like, I like the soundtrack. I like the graphics are gorgeous. I would have preferred a much more classic-like game. But what they do here is still really good too. This is the best 2D Sonic game that I've played in a long time. Of course, the classic Sonic mod didn't just give you the models. It actually went into a lot more detail than that. I love this music! This is the perfect remix of Special Stage 2 from Sonic 2. Well, Special Stage 2, well, I guess it does make sense as it's the second game to have a proper special stage, but you know what I mean. Like, this is what they should have done in Generations, instead of just having the original version of the theme and that's it. Like, I love this. I love the trumpets and everything, the audience cheering. And I love how they went to so much effort. Like, they bothered to make, like, 3D models. They bothered to give classic Sonic and Tails their own unique animations for this. In the end, though, it is still just a normal special stage. It's just the music that's changed. And again, I'm not going to be bothering with beating all of them. I really like this. This reminds me of the 8th special stage that they made for the Taxman remake of Sonic 2. It has that corkscrew loop, but because it's completely automated, it's not a problem. Because in the 8th special stage, you were somehow expected to follow along a trail of rings perfectly, even though the road ahead of you was constantly curving. So it was disorienting trying to follow along with the trail of rings. But in this game, you just hit a dash pad and you just go through the corkscrew, so it's not really that big of a deal. It's just there to look cool, as it should be. Tails looks adorable. He doesn't even have like, he doesn't even look sad. Like he kind of looks like a puppy with his mouth open. Don't know why they couldn't have animated his eyes looking half closed when he looks sad. I'm not really sure what that power-up does. Like, I guess it's making me go faster, but, like, am I expected to do something else with it? It doesn't really tell you. I like how they brought back the classic sound effect for getting an emerald. Like, not even with this mod. Like, in the original game. So that was Sonic 4 Episode 2. I do have a surprise for you. You might think that this is the last Sonic game that I'm ever going to show off, but actually, I do have some more Sonic stuff planned after I show off all the extra parts for Sonic Generations. I have one more LP coming up, and it's one that I never thought I would actually do. So next up is Sonic Heroes. They're not going to show off literally everything about it, but yeah. So see them.